Alright, so I have divisioned up with a couple of my former clan mates from For Fun clan. I've got Sleepy14 and A4plane with us. And Sleepy's running the Republic, and A4plane is in a Shimakaze. I'm in the Preussin, and we are playing in the Airship Escort battle mode, which is a mode where you have an airship that's following a pathway that you can see in green that is moving from the greenish circle at the far left of my mini map, if you look down there, and it's headed toward that anchor that is right in front of me. And then the enemy has an identical pathway that they are taking. And we are going to simultaneously be doing our best to defend our airship's circle. And at the same time, we are going to be trying to annihilate the enemy. If we can keep a ship in our green circle, then it increases the speed from a minimum speed of 6 knots all the way up to 30 knots. So it's 6 knots if there's an enemy sitting in our circle, 30 knots if there's no enemy but we have a friendly ship in our circle. And then the same thing would be true of their circle. So if we can get any of our ships into their circle, we slow them down. And at the same time, if we have a ship in our circle, then we're speeding up our airship. The first one to the anchor wins unless we can kill off all the enemy first. Well, Sleepy and A4plane and I have all spawned close to our ending point, so it is important that we make sure that the end point is as clear as possible of enemy ships before our ships get there. Because what has a tendency to happen in this is any ships that are actually in the escort party have been beaten up pretty much. They have been brawling all the way down there, and you are generally trying to have as few ships to have them have to deal with for the enemy. You want as few of the enemy on this end as possible. So it looks like they have quite a crowd up here. I see 2 Schlieffens, Shikishima, and a Grosser Kurfürst, and a Kleber all on this end, and now it looks like a Summers is coming over here. And the only thing that is facing them is my division, Sleepy in the Republic, A4plane in Shimakaze, a friendly Minotaur, and me. Okay, now A4plane is a real good player. He plays with us a lot in clan battles, and then Sleepy and I have played together quite a lot. So I don't think anybody wants to get in the way of Sleepy's shells from the Republic. And then Preussin has a pretty strong broadside of her own, so we kind of have these guys in a bit of crossfire right now. Good position to be in, but that Shikishima has the biggest guns in the game. I believe they're darn near 20-inch shells, and he's firing most of them at me, so I'm keeping angled as best as I can, and so far I've been able to avoid him or skip him off. He only gets 6 guns, so if I can get lucky and knock one of his turrets out, then that really will reduce his firepower. He has 4 of his guns in the front, 2 in the back. And so he's really not getting the best situation. He's pushed up a little bit, pushed up a lot too close. Really, Shikishimas are much more useful way back in the back part of the map. So he's doing a little bit of damage to him. So far I've acquired only 37 damage. I've switched over to HE so I can light some fires on him since he's bow into me. He's done about 26,000 to me, so far the trade's been in my favor. Those fires that I'm lighting, he has to keep burning because he never knows if I want to light another one. It looks like A4plane is getting close with some of his torps. Okay, in the meantime, while we're sitting here trading shots, Shikishima and me, our airship is slightly ahead. If you look at the top of the screen there, both airships are moving along at 18 knots. We are projected to win by about 30 seconds or so, but that means nothing. That can change massively between where they are right now and by the time they get up here. They're going through some of the gnarliest part of the pathway right now where everybody is in the middle of a heavy brawl. I can see that there's a Marseille and a GK on our side brawling with an Ohio and an Elbine, and our Marseille just died. A4plane was able to take down that Shikishima, flooded him out. On the other hand, taking a look at that mini map, it looks like GK and the Ohio are duking it out. And they're pretty much broadside to broadside, which is oftentimes the way it is here. Okay, I have a low health GK up ahead of me. I'm going to send some shells at him. I switched back over to AP. Now that I'm shooting a broadside instead of noses, it's better to use armor piercing rounds than high explosives. Just trying to catch that GK while I can. Stay out of the range of Claybear's torps. There's the Schlieffen up there too, but we're out of range of his torps too. I did some good damage to that GK, but then he went dark on me, so I'll shoot at what else. Oh good. Our Ohio got the Kleber out of there. Now the GK's back in there. Let's see if I can tag him. It won't take much. Okay, looks like those Kleber torps are coming this way, but I don't think they can hit me. Yeah, they ran out. Oh good, okay. I tagged that GK at distance and he's out. Now we'll go after the Schlieffen. Okay, A4plane got the Hindenburg. So far, we have 5 ships left in the fight. We did lose A4plane. They've got 6 ships left. So this one's coming down to the nitty-gritty right now. Our airship is still quite a ways ahead of the other side, but this is not a perfect situation. Okay, got a citadel on the Schlieffen. Got another one and took him down. Awesome. Okay, that bumped me up over 100,000. So, got us a pizza party. If you ever watch Clyde Plays Live, the Twitch streamer, that's what he calls it when you get over 100,000. Oh, we lost Sleepy. That darn Elbin got to him. Torped him. Okay, let's see if we can do something with that Elbin then. Missed him with my main battery. Maybe my secondaries can get to him. Uh-oh. The sub is right here. Oh, like right here, right in front of me. Okay. Secondaries got him before I could get depth charges on him. The Preussin secondaries are pretty good. They're not Schlieffen good, but they're good. Speaking of Schlieffen, that's what's right here. He sends its torps. And it's like I've got hail on a tin roof, the way the Schlieffen secondaries are raining down on me. Okay, trying to get guns away on both sides. I'm on fire. I've used my last remaining heal. Oh goodness, okay. There we go, got him. Woo, that's a brawl. Alright, well Hindenburg was able to finish me, but now the Hindenburg is their last remaining ship. Our airship is a full minute ahead of their airship, and we have our Mino and the Ohio just sitting there waiting for that Hindenburg to pop back up. I think we've got this one won. That was a wild one, but that's the way these airship escort battles are. They are a brawl from one end to the other, and that's the most fun part of World of Warships. Seems like a lot of the games we get into these days, you do a lot of your battle at a distance, and it's just not quite as exhilarating as it is when you get in tight like that and you're mixing it up at knife fighting range, which is one of the reasons I usually like to drive a destroyer. But my goodness, yep, that was fun. And if Schlieffen were like a lot of the German battleships where I had at least 6K torps, I don't know, might have been able to pull one more kill out of that, or stayed alive a little bit longer and not died to that Hindenburg. Okay, well there is the Hindi, and he's out. That's it. Alright, let's look at our after battle stats. That was a pretty wild one. So came up just short of 158,000 in damage, 55 target hits, 7 of them over pens, 30 of them full pens, so well over half, about 2/3 of them actually did damage. 4 kills, set 3 fires, had 2 citadels, 98 secondary target hits, so not too bad, although I've gone well over 400 secondary target hits in a Schlieffen. For Preussin, not too bad at all. I came in 3rd place on the leaderboard, behind the Ohio with 4 kills, so let's do a comp for him. And for our Mino, who stayed alive and stayed right in there. A4plane did real well, came in right in the middle, upper half, and Sleepy was a little on the lower end on that one, but if you could have seen him in that previous game, he was just a mad dog there, so he was resting up this time. All right, so I fired a total of 136 shells, and I was able to land 55 of them. Yep, so hitting somewhere in the range of a half anyway. Which on Preussin with that dispersion, maybe that's pretty good actually. All right, and then I had over 2 million potential damage. So there was a lot of stuff being thrown at me there. Okay, well, took out that both Schlieffens, so 2 Schlieffens, a GK, and a submarine. Kind of forgot about the submarine. I think I probably hit him just with secondary. Yeah, that's what I did. One secondary shell hit him and sank him with 135. So that was a yoink, but that's the way it goes. Okay, let's take a look at our equipment. So with my Preussin, I am running Auxiliary Armaments Mod 1 because Preussin is a good secondary ship. I could have gone on with the main Armaments Mod 1. I'm just staying with more of a secondary build out for right now. I might change it up later on. I have Damage Control Systems Mod 1 to help me prevent fires and flooding as best as possible. Main Armaments, this Aiming Systems Mod 1 to reduce that dispersion. She gets pretty bad dispersion as it is, but this does help a little bit. Also helps with my secondaries, gets me out to a little bit more range on my secondaries and makes them a little more accurate. Damage Control Systems Mod 1 reduces the severity of fires and flooding because they're going to happen on any battleship. And then Concealment Systems Mod 1 to help reduce my detection, and I'm going to be detected from pretty long range, but reduce it as best as possible, and that cuts down on the number of guns actually firing at me at any one time. And then main armaments, main battery mod 3 to increase my reload time. It hurts my main battery traverse speed, but when we see my captain skills, you'll see that I have greased the gears going, so those kind of balance a little bit. Okay, normal repair party and damage control parties on Preussin. I am choosing fighter over spotter because my spotting aircraft extends out the firing range, but with my poor dispersion, that really hasn't been that beneficial. And the fighter did help me several times tonight when I've got aircraft carriers in the game or other ships that can throw aircraft at me. And then finally, Preussin does get hydroacoustic search, which is very helpful. And I probably should have used it a little earlier, but there were a couple of times where there were torps coming at me that I could have avoided, I think. All right, let's take a look at my captain. This is just run-of-the-mill captain, just whoever happened to be hanging around waiting to get on a ship. And I only have him up to 15 points, and that was just some of that was just because I upgraded him just for these airship escort battles. So as I mentioned, I'm running, I have gun feeder going here, and so I can switch shell types real quickly. And I am running demolition expert to help light those fires. I was thinking I had grease the gears. I was mistaken. I don't have grease the gears yet. That'll be what I'll put on here when I get 2 more captain skills. And I am running vigilance because even with the hydro going, sometimes uh, you still want to see those torps coming from a distance. And when your hydro is out, then battleships are helpless to torpedoes. I'm going with the long-range secondaries, so I am really a strong secondary build battleship, and I think that that has helped with the whole brawling concept of this particular game mode that we're in with the Airship Escort. That's been just a lot more fun that way. I will probably add Adrenaline Rush when I get the skills. First, I'm going to get Grease the Gears, and then later on, let's see, if I used up 2, that'll get me to 17, and then I'll have 4 more available after that. So I probably won't be able to get Adrenaline Rush. I don't know that I'll go with the manual secondary battery, but I will probably go with Emergency Repair Expert because with all that brawling, you just get yourself into trouble. I won't go with Concealment Expert on this particular ship because my point is to get in close enough to brawl, and I'm not going to be concealed from anybody at that range. So that's why I'll stick with that one. So that's Preussin in a really fun battle. That whole mode is just a blast anyway. So I really enjoy the uh, the fact that you've got these big guns. They reload in just a little bit over 20 seconds. I think I'm at about 22. Let's see. Looks like 21.1 seconds. So 21 seconds. Compared to my GK is at 30 seconds. Vermont is at 40 seconds. 21 seconds. That's pretty nice throwing out shells that big. So 457 millimeter shells. Real hard hitting. And then you've got all those secondaries on her. And okay AA, not great. I mean, any of the German battleships are going to be kind of weak in their AA, so that's why I have to run that fighter because otherwise she's really in trouble. But quite a ship there. They're on a GK hull, the Grosse Kurfürst, so they're built out to be uh, pretty much the exact same ship with the difference that GK has a lot more guns. It has 12 guns, and uh, the Preussin only has 8 guns, but the GK's guns are smaller and they do have a longer reload. So got to appreciate the Preussin and her capabilities in a battle like we just had. All right. Well, I think that'll do it.